Welcome to the Emotional Support Animals Show, episode 13, and we're excited to have you with us as we explore the world of emotional support animals and the difference they make in their handlers' lives. Each episode we talk with registered ESA handlers from the UK registry who share their personal journeys, how their animals support them, and the unique bond they share. From uplifting stories to everyday insights, this episode is sure to inspire. Whether you're an ESA handler, considering one, or simply curious, you're in the right place. Just a quick note, I'm a volunteer hosting this show and everything I say reflects my own views. So sit back, relax, and let's get started with the episode 13 of the Emotional Support Animal Show. Let's get started.
Hello.
Hi, and thanks for coming on the show. To start, could you introduce yourself and tell us a little about your emotional support animal, what kind of animal they are, their name, and what makes them unique?
Sure. So I'm Julia, and my dog is Nala. She's an Aussie, an Australian Shepherd. And she's a miniature version. She's quite small. She's about 8 kilos. And she's a Mer. She has a very particular pattern. And so she's quite a rare breed to the UK. And actually, I got her from abroad because I couldn't get this breed in the UK. But I thought she's a perfect dog, an emotional support dog, because she is small. I can travel with her. I travel quite a lot. So I needed a dog who can come along with me all the time and travel. And she has the perfect size. And because of her herding instinct, she's very smart and constantly aware of things.
What first brought you to the idea of having an emotional support animal? Was there a particular moment or experience that made you realize this was something you needed?
Actually, it all started when I got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, which is a chronic illness in which a person requires insulin constantly. So it's quite different from type 2. So the reasons are mainly different. It's treated in a similar way. But I got diagnosed about 10 years ago. And before that, I thought, I'm fine. I don't need any support whatsoever. I was super independent. And then I got diagnosed and my life completely changed. And I felt that I was more in stressful situations and I needed more support. So the illness happened first. And then it was actually a doctor who recommended me to get an emotional support dog, because living with this chronic illness causes a lot of extra stress and a lot of extra work, like mental load. For example, like we feel as being diabetics, we need to take many more decisions. It's being said that we need to take 180 to 300 more decisions a day, health-related decisions. So that's a lot of stress. And I also talked about all of that in my own podcast, The Happy Type 1. And then, so that happened first. And then the doctor recommended, okay, Julia, why don't you get an emotional support dog? And then registering her was just a logical consequence. So it wasn't a name or anything, but then I thought, yeah, all this just now makes sense and it would be a great support for myself.
Just a completely different question. You just mentioned you had a podcast. Do you want to tell everybody about it?
Yeah, sure. I mean, the podcast is called The Happy Type 1. So I talk a lot about chronic illness in general, and then also food-related topics. I interview quite a lot of people, also people who are involved into decision-making in the UK, and trying to bring more awareness about type 1 diabetes, the difference to type 2, and what people go through. And yeah, all sorts of topics. But yeah, I really enjoy doing this podcast, and I hope that a lot of people will listen more, because it's a hidden disability. And as a lot of people who sign up for an emotional support dog, we often have hidden disabilities. So people think, oh, you're fine. And then it actually turns out you're not. So it's important to talk about it. And it's nice when people know, like the public knows about certain conditions, so you don't always need to explain, because I find it quite challenging sometimes to be in a restaurant or be somewhere and then say, okay, I can't do this, I can't do that because of, and then I need to explain, and that's sometimes a bit painful. So it's nice to also having the dog registered to kind of cut this short and just say it's registered. Maybe that's the ID if I need to show it. but without long-winded discussion about my situation and so forth. So,
What's the address for the podcast?
It's the Happy Type 1. You can find it on Spotify and on Apple Podcast or on my website, thehappytype1.com. So yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, once your emotional support animal became part of your life, what changes did you notice first in your daily routine, mood, or sense of stability?
I mainly felt comfort. I felt that I'm not alone anymore. So big side effect, or what happens with my illness, is that I can have high and low blood sugar, and the lows are the life-threatening ones. And but when she's there, I feel like I'm not alone. Like there is always someone like guiding me. She's quite sensitive girl, so yeah, she's just, there's a emotion of team spirit, maybe, if I can say that, with her. And it just overall comfort, I would say.
Okay. Can you share a memorable story when your emotional support animal was there for you during a challenging time?
Having low blood sugars mainly, also fainting, losing consciousness, and not being in control of my own body in these situations. And she was at my side. She didn't leave my side. She's just, it happened a few times, and she's always there. Now I train her more so she can also pre-alarm me and maybe other people. So she's my pre-alarming system now. So that helps a lot. Yeah.
Great. What are some of your emotional support animals' quirks or favorite things to do to always lift your spirits?
She does a lot of nose touching, and as a herder, she does that instinctively as well. So also when we play, she sometimes, like, how can I say? She doesn't bite, but like she touches with her nose my leg, and she's trying to also push me in certain directions. It's just a natural instinct. I find that quite cute. She's mega playful. She wants to play all the time. What I found a bit challenging with her is she is not very food motivated. So training her was challenging. So it works well with plays, but I can't always reward her with a toy or something. So I had to learn a lot in that regards. But and then she has a little bell. I'm not sure I really taught her that, or she learned herself, but she has a little bell at the door. So when she needs to go out, she rings the bell. And sometimes when I'm in a call or something and I can't react to it, she goes like more and more. And once I was in a call and she was like going really crazy, and had to say, like, I'm so sorry, that's my dog ringing the bell. And then I had to remove the bell for the day. But she has her own mind, and that's a good thing.
How has having your emotional support animal influenced your relationships with friends, family, or even neighbors and the local community?
With friends, I think sometimes I'm not sure if they want to see my dog or if they want to actually meet up with me, because they really adore Nala. And maybe Nala is lucky that she is small. Like she comes from a bigger breed, but she is now a miniature. So she's so small that she looks like a puppy. And people constantly think, oh, is she still a puppy? I always get the same question, and she's not. So she has this cute factor, which helps a lot. So my friends love her. I think my friends gained a new friend, and my family got a new family member. And in terms of local community, I became a dog trainer because I want to learn more about it. I thought I can also help myself, knowing more about how to handle dogs well in my situation, also with type 1 diabetes. And what I found very frustrating is that it's nice to have the dog registered as an emotional support dog, but then also like doing further training, also as a service dog, self-trained service dog, that's still not recognized in many places. And for many people who require a further trained dog, they need to pay thousands of pounds just to get a dog like this. And it's not possible for many people. They just can't afford it. So now I want to help people train their own dog, like self-training their dog for this condition. So they don't need to spend thousands of pounds, but they can figure out how to train their dog themselves, so the dog can support them in these kind of situations. So, yeah.
Oh, good. So if anybody wants some training, contact you on your website.
Yeah.
On the flip side, what's been the most surprising or unexpected way your emotional support animal has supported you?
The most surprising way. I think that she picks up a lot of things, although I haven't trained her for that. She seems to now, I trained her for certain situations, and then sometimes we're in a new situation and she still seems to know what to do. But I think that comes when you have a very strong bond with your dog and when you spend a lot of time with a dog. So a lot of different situations where she seems to be like maybe on her own autopilot, knowing what to do.
Mm-hmm. Many people misunderstand emotional support animals. Is there one misconception you'd like to clear up for our viewers?
Yeah, maybe that having a registered dog doesn't mean you have any mental issues or any maybe major mental problems, because emotionally people often think like, oh, you're super unstable because of something. So there's a lot of prejudice, and that's a shame. The reason to register a dog as an emotional support animal, or any other animal, of course, is manifold. And there is obviously a qualification process, like you need a letter from the doctor confirming that you need this animal. So it's not an excuse to get into places or something like that.
Mm-hmm. From a personal health perspective, how does your ESA help you manage the specific symptoms of your condition or hidden disability?
Yeah, for my hidden disability, what she does is she senses when I have a low, and she does that through her fine sense of smell. So because like body odor can change, like we can't smell it as humans, but the dog can. So when she does that, she can alarm me, she can give me nose touches, and then I know that I need to prepare myself so I can act before I actually feel low or I feel like I'm fainting or becoming unconscious. So that's what she does really well.
Thinking about your local area, how have businesses, public spaces, or services responded to your ESA? Have some been more welcoming than others?
I would say overall very well, especially the people who are already aware of it. There is not a problem, but then there are a lot of people who are not aware, and then it goes with explaining again. Once I was trying to get into a place and the person at the door didn't know, then he had to call the manager, and then the manager apologized because he knew, and he said, yeah, of course, it's fine, it's not a problem, come in.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing. Unfortunately, I need to say that also I had to deal with the UK government recently, and they completely ignored the registry of my dog. And I found that very frustrating. As I said before, I had to get NALA from abroad. For that, I had to spend certain time abroad. And I applied for UK citizenship this year. So I had to spend this time abroad because of my condition. And I had to spend some time in my home country, in Germany, abroad. And the government just said, no, it's not possible. You don't recognize the time. It has to do with the application process. But I found that quite frustrating because if of any like public body to recognize that, to respect that, I would have said, okay, it's the UK government, also because it's there are laws behind backing that up. But yeah, that was frustrating.
You said you've travelled with your ESA. What was it like? Did you face any challenges, or were there moments that stood out that were especially positive?
Yeah, so sometimes, like with airlines, it's nearly impossible. Like I haven't found an airline accepting the emotional support registry and the ID.
How much does Nala weigh?
8.5 kilos.
Oh yeah, they've got a 5 kilo limit.
Yeah, and some have 8. And then I thought, okay, half the kilo, because she's so small, it's not that she can just lose one kilo and she's fine. That's a lot for her. But she's just at the limit. But it's not just the weight, but because I've seen other people traveling with bigger dogs as well, like in the cabin, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to put her in the hold. I find it a bit cruel. Me personally, I don't want it. But yeah, so airlines is just so far wasn't an option for me, and it's a bit of a shame. Then Of course, there are hotels, and hotels, they sometimes accept the dog, but if they're a dog-friendly hotel first, and then, but they still charge for the dog as well. So sometimes when you do need a dog, they still charge you extra like any other guest. Now, I don't know if that's fair or not. I'm not sure, but I just noticed that it's just, in this case, the same rule for everyone. And yeah, I think apart from that, it was fine. And I have been to Italy with her once, and I could hardly go to places because people kept stopping me and want to take photos and ask me like what breed she is and stuff, because she has such a distinct pattern. So that was cute. She brings a lot of smiles to people, and yeah, and that's good. So she's very social as well.
I've flown with our dog on Baltic, Air Baltic, in out, because they haven't got no airline's got a license to come back in. That's the problem.
Yeah, yeah.
But the Eurostar, you can bring dogs in now on the train.
On the train, yeah. And I traveled by ferry also, so that worked.
Yeah.
And they have
a
special area where you can go, and it's actually super nice. They have coffee and things, so yeah, it's cool on the ferry as well. I can recommend.
Great. What advice would you give to someone who is thinking about getting an ESA, both about the process and about choosing the right animal?
Let's say go for it. It's a great choice to have an emotional support animal. It might be a dog, might be something different. Because also the more people have it and who go officially for a registry, they help grow awareness about the system, about these IDs. So the more people are aware about it, the better it is, I think. But it's important to choose the breed wisely. That's what I was trying to do. In the past, I really liked Shiba Inus because I thought, oh, they look cute. Like those are the ones who look like foxes.
Yeah.
But then I read more about them, and everyone said, no, they're hard to train. Like they have their own mind. You constantly have to have them on leash. And I was like, no, that's not suitable for my situation. I just can't. So forget about the cuteness factor. Aim for having a dog which works well for you, and don't aim for registering the dog. Aim to get a dog which is good for you, and then to train them, and then get registered, I would say. So obviously the goal is not to just register a dog, and as I said before, to get into places, but have one which can really support you in the situation you're in.
For those who already have an ESA, what tips can you share about caring for the animal in a way that also balances your own needs or their own needs?
I would say prepare your dog for the situation your dog will be in. Like if you want to bring your dog to work, check with work maybe first, but then also train the dog for like public situation. If your dog is mainly at home, then that's fine. Like you still need to train the dog for this situation at home as well. But it can also cause stress for the dog being in this situation. And sometimes as human, we focus on our condition and what we need. But then we also need to consider the mental stability, the happiness of the dog itself, I think. So training, I would say, is super important, especially the more the dog is kind of out and about and in public. And yeah, I would recommend using like a modern approach to training, like a positive reinforcement training. So it's like fun and engaging, like for the dog and for you as a handler. And yeah, just to create like a positive experience with the dog all the time. And dogs usually love to be with their owner, to not just play, but to engage, to give them a task. Like, of course, it depends also on the breed. But I can say from having a shepherd, like giving Nala a task, she just flourished. She just lost it. And yeah, I have read that there is a term in Hawaii, and it's called a kahu. And a kahu is like someone, is like the translation is like a guide, a protector, a beloved friend. And that's how they call people who own dogs and also sometimes other animals. So I think that's the ideal person we could be to a dog as well, just a calm, fun, and maybe consistent friend, so we can serve each other very well.
And for anybody that's interested, the registry's got a work assessment template if anybody wants one. Finally, if you could leave the audience with one message about emotional support animals, about their role, their importance, or what people often overlook, what would it be?
Well, maybe that it's not a registry for a service animal, that it's just for emotional support animal, that it can be different animals. And yeah, the registry is amazing. I think the process is really fair. The people I have dealt with in the organization are all super nice and helpful. Yeah, as I said before, I find training and spending time with your animal very important. And yeah, just serving your dog well, and the dog will serve you well, what I said. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for coming on the show. It's much appreciated.
Sure.
And,
Thank you.
Anybody out there, if you have an ESA and would like to come on the show, please contact the Emotional Support Animal Registry, and they will get hold of me because I'm the volunteer who does this show. And thank you to all those viewers watching this show. And as usual, please subscribe to the channel if you have not yet done so. Hit the thumbs up and, of course, share the video link on your social media. And thank you again.